Next up for the session, Transforming Travel and Expenses Management with AI. To do this, I would request Ms. Shinam Khatri, Senior Customer Success Partner, SAP Concur. Shinam is a Senior Customer Success Partner Advisor with SAP Concur. She works with customers across APAC and helps them unlock value from their T&E platform. Can we have a huge round of applause for Ms. Shinam Khatri?
Thank you. Thanks, Mitali. Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. So exciting to be here in front of all of you today. You can hear me all right? Great. Perfect. So I'm going to be here, and in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the trends that we can foresee in the travel and expense management domain. What are the challenges that leaders such as yourself face when it comes to travel and expense? And how can SAP Concur help address the pain areas and add value to your T&E program? Perfect. So we'll start with some good news. Indian economy is expected to continue on its growth trajectory. This is being fueled by an increased consumption, domestic consumption, as well as increased digitalization, and also a very young, dynamic, growing workforce. What this means is that eventually, the trends that we are seeing, wherein your travel is increasing by, or is forecasted to increase by, a 14 to 15% year on year. In fact, we have already surpassed the pre-COVID levels. So we have surpassed those levels, and it is expected to continue to increase. And with that increase, what we are also seeing is an increased focus on sustainability. That's a topic in every boardroom conversation, and not just because of regulatory checks that the government is posing, but also because that is important and we understand the need for it today. So that's why nearly 60% of the CFOs, leaders like yourself in the room, are talking about sustainability, especially in the context of a travel and expense management program. The trends as forecasted by Deloitte and Forrester, and of course SAP Concur Insights, also showcase that 50% of companies are expected to use data analytics tool to monitor the trends, the T&E trends. In fact, some of the best-in-class organizations, they are also using the data and analytics tool to understand where is the gap, where are the employees facing challenges, where are the expectations that are on the rise. And they are crafting a training program, T&E training program, taking insights from this data. So that becomes really powerful. Otherwise, most of the L&D programs, they would have the training team deploy these programs with little or no input from the accounts payable team or the travel admin team, which are seeing what is happening on the ground daily. Also to add, 60% of businesses will use mobile expense reporting by 2025. So a quick question for all of you here. How many of you have your T&D app on the mobile today here right now? Show of hands, please. Yes, so this will increase. So if we were to meet in 2025, 2026, I would anticipate more hands to be in the air, because that's where the employee experience will increase, will be enhanced. You are here, you are going for a coffee break, you can pull out your phone, understand the reports that are lying with you for approvals. You don't have to go back to office, you don't have to open your system and understand what is waiting for you to approve. So that is the power, and mobility will play a very important solution, will play a very important role in the years to come. So these are some of the trends that we are seeing in the industry and how the industry is poised to grow. Now, what are the organization's biggest concerns when it comes to designing the program, or when it comes to the CFOs, CHROs, CIOs asking about the data? These are the 4 pillars that they want to focus on. Starting with employee experience. That is at the heart of all conversations today. We want employees to be able to get the money faster in a streamlined way. Now, let's be honest. It's like doing taxes. Nobody is going to be very excited about doing an expense report and, it's not an exciting thing. So we are not saying it's going to be amazing and exciting, but of course, we are looking forward to make it as seamless as possible, wherein the expense reports write by themselves. That is the endeavor that we want to achieve. The other aspect that leaders like yourself are keen to look at is spend management. How are you tracking against the budgets that are allocated? How are you tracking against the different portfolios, your marketing budget, your sales budget? Are you aligned? Are you falling short or are you overshooting? So that is another big concern. The third biggest concern is expansion and optimization. Is your employee, whether they are in one region or another region, are they getting the same experience? Are they having the same processes? Are they having access to same tools? So that is another hegemony, right? You want the same experience for all employees across the locations and optimizing it. What you have today, how can you make it even more better, even more seamless, even more relevant to your leaders, to the employees? And finally, controls and compliance. That is at the heart of every T&D program that we are seeing people talk about, be it the finance leaders, or be it the accounts payable department, or HR. Controls and compliance, not just from your internal policy perspective, but rules of the land, statutory compliance, regulatory compliance. So these are the concerns that leaders like yourself, when we are talking to you, you shared that these are the 4 pillars where you want to focus on while designing a T&D program. And these are the challenges in the expense management world. 30% of the businesses report non-compliance as a significant issue. How long is a standard T&D policy document? Any guesses? The document that we have that you're entitled to this hotel and this car mileage and that Uber and this cell phone bill. How? Any guesses, any numbers? How long is the document in your organization? 5, 10, 35? Yes, that's closer. Now imagine how many of us are keen to read a 35-page document to find one piece of information, right? So all of this is a challenge that is being changed and that is being impacted by AI. I have an organization that changed their 60-page document to a 2-page document. And they saw a huge shift in the employee morale, in the employee experience, and in compliance. We cannot expect employees to go back and read and refer 60-page document time and again. That is a recipe for disaster. The other thing is 20 to 25% of organizations report a case of expense fraud. That is the reality. I was reading an article on Wall Street Journal. This is in the context of US, but corporate fraud increases during holidays, especially this season, Thanksgiving to Christmas. That's what they're forecasting, that misuse of corporate card is on the rise during holidays. 45% of employees report dissatisfaction with the reimbursement process. I'll give you 3 cases, and these are real life cases. I have a customer and I'm working with them. Customer A says, I don't need managers to look at the expense report. That's not their job. That's not their core area of expertise. And any which ways, they are not going to check and validate all the receipts. So why bother wasting their time? An employee submits a report, it should go for approval. We should do random audit checks. And if there is a gap, we should take strict action against that employee and set an example. So for bad action of a 1% or a 2% employee, we should not make the other 98% suffer. Very logical. I have another employee, another customer B. What they have done is, after 30 days, an employee submits a report. After 30 days, if the immediate manager does not approve, it goes back to the employee. So the onus is on the employee to get his or her report approved. Then yet another example, yet another customer 3, they say that every 2 days, if the immediate manager has not submitted, it goes to the higher up in the chain. So senior manager has not approved, it goes to AVP. AVP has not approved, after 2 days it goes to VP, then it goes to CFO. So the idea is that the onus on approval is on the manager, that do not keep it in your inbox. But what I'm trying to say is that it could be a same solution. All the three companies are using the same product, but look at the difference or in the employee experience that that the employees of these three companies, they undergo. It's huge, right? So it's not just about the product, it's about the policies, it's about the way you're holding the solution as well. Another challenge that is in this category is categorizing and claiming GST. Poor visibility into real-time data. 35 to 40% of companies cite this as a challenge. 65% of companies use manual systems or semi-automated systems still in 2024. 10 to 15% of expense reports are submitted late. Another professional services company, the employees are based out of, they travel on site for 2 months or 3 months. They say we don't have access to VPN, so they keep spending the credit card bills, which is company paid credit card. It gets, it keeps collecting, the receipts keep collecting dust, and eventually the company is paying huge fees on late credit card payments. These are all real life challenges, right, that we are working to mitigate. How do we enforce compliance? How do we enforce employees to submit the reports on time? 2 to 5% cost variance due to incorrect exchange rate calculations. What is the best practice when it comes to FX rate calculations? So some of the challenges, and these are the stages, the maturity stages a T&E solution has gone through. From a very manual and a spreadsheet-based process, probably 2 decades ago, to now we are talking about intelligent and predictive processes. We are talking about expense reports that write by themselves. We are talking about AI. We are talking about infusing the powers of AI when it comes to not just creating, but also approving, and from an accounts payable process as well. So in the interest of time, without going into the details, the pace of change is accelerating. And if you see from a manual process that we started some decades ago, to now an intelligent, a robust, a predictive system. Why? Why have we gone through this entire change? Because of macroeconomic factors, because of the expectations from the employees, because of the expectations from the regulatory bodies, because of changes in a business strategy and adjusting to business realities. And what this means is that it is time to take a different approach to travel and expense management process. It means that the focus is on automation. It means that the focus is on real time. We can no longer wait to catch non-compliant spend 2 months after it has been incurred and already being paid to the employee. The focus is to understand the predictiveness in the nature, and the focus is to educate the employee even before they're making the spend that this is non-compliant, that this is out of policy. And finally, this is the SAP Concur Travel and Expense Management approach. End to end, right from raising a request, which is pre-travel authorization, to booking the travel, to claiming the expenses, to analysis, all of that end to end in one tool at the power of the click, also available on phone as well as desktop. So from your request, it also integrates to ERP, of course, S4 and ECC, but also to any other ERP. And there are APIs available. You can link it through third parties. So we have a fantastic ecosystem as well. All the partners that you see here, Uber. I took an Uber from Gurgaon to this venue. When I go back, it will already be sitting on my expense folder. It's linked at the back end. So my Uber receipt will automatically go in. I don't have to click a receipt. I don't have to do anything. I have my colleague who flew in from Mumbai. They're staying in a hotel. When they check out, they are not going to ask for a paper receipt or a paper invoice. The hotel, like Marriott, is connected with Concur. The receipt will automatically flow in and be available as an expense. So when at the end of a month or at the end of a trip, you want to consolidate the expenses, everything is available in a digital format, and all you need to do is consolidate and submit. So that is the power that we're talking about today. All of this runs on intelligence. Not only on, you can export the data to any tool that you have today, Power BI, Tableau, or ERP, so that the data is not fragmented. One of the concerns that leaders have today is your travel is happening somewhere, your expense is happening in some other place, your other systems are running on a third solution. Now, it's one person's job to collate data at the end of a month or at the end of the quarter and send a consolidated report to the leaders. That is a huge productivity loss, if you ask me. Our times and the times of our employees can be utilized in a much better way rather than the manual consolidation of data. Joule, if you remember, I asked at the starting, when I started the deck, what is the number of the average page in a T&E document or a policy document, 30, 35, 60. Joule is where the AI copilot comes into the picture. While you're submitting the expense claim or while you're booking, imagine how convenient it would be to have a chatbot pop up and say, hi, I'm traveling from Mumbai to Delhi. Am I entitled to this hotel? Or what is the hotel budget that I'm entitled to? Or what is the Uber segment that I'm entitled to? Or what is the personal car mileage rate that I'm entitled to, or company cab I'm entitled to. So we are talking about uploading the documents, the relevant documents, onto the T&E management tool so that your employees, especially new hires, it's a lifesaver for new hires, right? Especially for new hires, the power of Joule, the power of Copilot, so that they can get the information they need while making a booking. So from air to hotel to car rental, meals, allowance, parking, toll, telephone, internet, client entertainment, mileage, extra baggage, entertainment, if it's being built to company, everything in one go at one place. And the data can be exported at the click of a button. Some of the AI features that we have today, request assistant. I have to travel from Delhi to Mumbai. I need approval, pre-trip approval for that. And for that, I put in the details that this is when I'm traveling. The AI, Concur parses 1 billion receipts in a year. We are sitting on a gold mine of data from the last 30 years. And that gives us the edge to run machine learning algorithms on the programs. So when we make a request, when employee makes a request, Delhi to Mumbai, we look at the historical trends, we look at the analysis, and we auto-populate it. Productivity gains, time savings. Then travel booking, personalized experience, sustainability options. Your carbon emissions are available at the bottom of when you're booking the ticket, right? Generative AI, when it comes to travel booking, the system understands and stores what is your preferred mode of travel. Do you always book an aisle seat? So all of that is being stored in the system. It's very personalized. It's not one size fit all. Then expense creation, that also is enabled on generative AI today, and of course Joule integration. So with that, considering that the time is up, the idea of SAP Concur and the vision that we have is for the expense reports to get created seamlessly. We have receipts coming from n number of partners, and they are seamlessly integrated to Concur. And from an end-to-end experience point of view, from request creation to checking of the budgets, to booking of the travel, to making the claim, and the data. So end-to-end journey, which addresses your concerns and add value to the employee experience, to spend management, controls and compliance, and expansion and optimization, the 4 key areas that are your priority that we discussed at the start. So that is all from mine today. My colleague and I, we are here, we are around, be happy to answer any question or just, just chat about your T&E program. And I hope you found this valuable. Thank you.
I would request Ms. Shinam to please stay back on the stage. And to do the honor, I would call Mr. Pulkit Jain from Clear to honor Ms. Shinam Khatri.